Ladies and gentlemen, to the last match of this first afternoon session of the 2021 Hungarian Darts Trophy, live from the Hungarian capital of Budapest, live on PDC TV and Arena 4. Another very special moment for Hungarian darts. It's the second host nation qualifier of this event. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Hungary, making his European Tour debut, it's Gabor Jagica!
You'll take my life, but I'll take yours too. Your fire must be, but I'll run you through. So when you're waiting for the next attack, you better stand, there's no turning back.
And his opponent from Wales. He won his tour card earlier this year, and today he's making his European Tour debut. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Louis Williams!
Well, this will round off the afternoon session for you here at the Hungarian Darts Trophy. We've seen wins for Keane Barry and Adam Gavlas, two teenage stars rising in the world of darts. And that same description can apply to this man in the blue right here, the Prince of Wales, Louis Williams. Another teenager with a huge amount of potential. Taking on Gabor Jagica, another one of the Hungarian host nation qualifiers. Not really surprised to hear that it's his first appearance on the Euro Tour, but it is for Louis as well. But that's not to say we haven't seen him perform in big stages. Really announced himself at the UK Open last year in COVID times, and has shown in flashes throughout this year that he really is a very, very exciting prospect. Paul Nicholson alongside me, Dan Dawson, for your final game of the afternoon session, the inaugural Hungarian Darts Trophy. Louis Williams, well, I mean, we know he's the favourite for it, but that's by virtue of the fact that we haven't seen anything of Gabor. We've got no idea what standard he is.
First legs, Louis to throw first. Game on.
Sometimes, Dan, it's better the devil you know than the devil you don't. Is that going to be the case for this young fella who currently resides in Liverpool, not in South Wales, but has been spending a lot more time in the southeast of England. But he will be a heavy favourite here against Gabor. And I'm always intrigued when we get these home nation qualifiers down, because we never really get any middle ground with them. We get an amazing performance from them, and we think, ooh, we could have a superstar on our hands here.
55.
Well, they're immediately forgotten as we move on to the next one. But I sincerely hope, for Gabor's sake, that he is one of those memorable home nation qualifiers that we've been waiting for. There's a lot of shine on his darts. They look like they've just come out the box.
It is a shiny dart. It's an interesting action he's got as well, where it's sort of like a checked follow through, isn't it? Sort of, it looks good and then just stops very abruptly. Now, it probably isn't that much of a deal, because I think the dart's gone by then. But
do you know whose dart throw it reminds me of? Not so much in the preliminary stages, but the follow through that you just mentioned. Tony David.
The deadly boomerang.
He never extended the arm fully. He'd always stop short of it, and what I like to call flowering the hand. It opens up gradually, and it's not bad to look at, if I have to admit.
I mean, he's been pretty straight. Ooh.
45.
And just as I say that, one loose dart makes it a lot harder for him to win this opening leg.
Treble 18 found. Bullseye not found. Not happy with that try.
31.
Should get another chance to take this first leg. but maybe not.
17 to double 10. What a shot this would be. Oh, what a shot by Team Gabor Jigitsa. Welcome to Hungary.
Second legs, Gabor to throw first. Game.
What do I know, Dan? I said that Louis was going to get another shot. And if the Prince of Wales was taking this one a little bit lightly, I guarantee you from this point on, he will not take this guy for granted. That was a proper shot.
Well. Now that really has lifted the crowd. We know that earlier on Janusz Wragza had his family in there, and they were the prime cheerleaders. And they cheered him on to get match darts against Joe Murnan. He couldn't take them. If he can harness the power of this admittedly small crowd on a Friday afternoon session, then it's going to make it a little more tough for Louis Williams.
When we see Home Nation qualifiers come in for the first time, there is no pressure on them apart from the pressure they put on themselves and of course what is felt by the crowd. I think Louis Williams will understand the pressure is on him because he's the one who's fancied to win this match. So if Gabor can just relax and understand that he is an underdog, he could be very, very dangerous here.
80.
He's got a massive phoenix on the back of his shirt. He's got a small one on the front. I think he's got something to do with a phoenix. Maybe that's something to do with his darts team.
I think it looks like a darts club thing to me.
Good composure so far from Louis, who has been
57.
hit with that heavyweight blow in leg one, but has just got back to his task. And we'll hope that he's got plenty of time to negotiate 90. It's not going to be much time. In fact, he might have to take it here.
Louis required
Nice the bullseye in the opening leg. Could get a dart at bull here. I'll do better than that.
Yeah, on the second leg.
Very nicely done.
Third leg is Louis to throw first.
15 pinned for 1-all.
Louis does have a cheerleader in the crowd there. That's
Game
Lauren.
on.
That's the other half. And that's why he's been spending so much time in Maidstone.
Right.
If you wonder why I know that, it's because Lauren's little brother
140.
has been coached by me for the last couple of years, and he's a fine young man.
Is he getting better?
Yes, he is.
Ah, there you go.
He's getting experience, and
70.
he's a very, very clever young man, and he's got an amazing amount of psychological nous for such a young lad.
140.
Good practice partner for Louis Williams when he's spending time in Maidstone as well.
Well, certainly Louis can count Nathan Aspinall amongst his practice partners as well.
30.
It was Nathan and his manager Martin that first sort of alerted people, saying, "Look, you pay attention to this lad. He's going to be good." And they
100.
have been proven right in recent months. He has had some very, very significant victories, Lewis Williams. He's picked up some scalps.
Yeah, he likes playing Jose de Sousa, doesn't he?
98.
He's beaten him a couple of
Louis
times.
121.
I'll have to compile a list to see which of the top 10 he has beaten, but I think it's most of them.
60. Would have left himself on double 18.
105.
He chips away at a beautiful third leg. And that 131 seems like a long time ago now.
77. Louis requires 16.
Seeing a host nation qualifier take out a massive combo finish in leg one could have been time to panic a little bit for some players, but Louis Williams has just knuckled down and he's getting the job done. And I know we're only 3 legs into
to throw
this,
first. Game on.
but Louis Williams is averaging 102.
Standard fair, really, because at times this season he has been putting in some very good numbers. And in qualifying, he was the
98.
epitome of consistency in beating Dirk Telnikes and Dimitri van den Berg to get here. 6-2 and 6-4 for those victories, and both of them averaging 97.
96.
Most of the time in qualifiers, that'll get it done.
Yeah, and that means that Dimitri van den Berg, who unquestionably right now is one of the best players on the planet, Well, he's going to have to do the job in Gibraltar, going in at
62.
round 1 as an unseeded player. Otherwise, Dimmy is not going to be at the European Championship.
I wonder how many times we're going to mention big players possibly not getting to the Euros. But
100.
you just got to play with what you're given. And unfortunately for Dimitri, he had the opportunity of getting through to this event and he wasn't able to do it. Now, Louis Williams qualified for ET3, but of course that won't count
140.
towards the European Championship.
Yeah, we're not quite sure what is going to become of the ET3, the third Euro Tour qualifier. It happened.
100.
The PDC and the Players' Union are talking about what's the fairest way to deal with that, but it isn't going to count towards qualifying for the European Championship
41.
this year. That much we know. What it does count towards, we will find out in due course, but it doesn't appear that there's any great rush.
So after everything you've said today, in relation to Louis
105.
Williams and his ambitions of making the Euros,
160.
he's got to make it count today, tomorrow, and potentially on Sunday. Second 60 missed by Jagica.
122. Louis
He's
requires
himself a double
100.
19. Louis Williams has already taken a 90 checkout with a 60 to start. He needs 85 more.
19s or 15s, what's it to be? So the 19s for double 14.
Oh. 86. Gabo, you require
Does Gabo go
38.
straight for it? He's got some support out there. Straight for it. Oh, what a deflection! In off the post.
Congratulations, through first.
Very reminiscent of a Johnny Clayton dart that hit the 54 earlier in the year on a 180 effort. But boy, oh boy, he might have used up a life there.
Filth. Absolute filth.
60.
I think he knows it, Gabo. Do you know what? I was reading the ET3 qualifiers, not Gibraltar. Dimitri is not in Gibraltar. Tell a lie. So Dimitri van den Berg
40.
will not be at the European Championship. He's one of those unlucky guys who did qualify for one of these, but it's the one that hasn't been able to squeeze into the calendar. So
There's a week off for Dimitri then.
yeah,
I'll tell you what,
31.
hat tipped to our backstage guys here and our match director Dion Lawn, because that was one heck of a camera angle for that double 19. It's not just us that do everything here. We have an
59.
incredible backstage crew who put this production on for you guys. Hope you're enjoying it.
not just us. We don't do anything. They're the geniuses doing it. We sit here and chat nonsense.
90.
Can't believe we get paid to do that, Dan.
You getting paid?
I knew there was something I wasn't allowed to say.
58.
Well, these guys are getting paid. Guaranteed £1,000 in ranking money. And indeed, if they get through, they can double that and have a crack at Krzysztof
55.
Ratajski.
Yeah, the number 10 lead here this weekend. Krzysztof Ratajski, World Match Play semi-finalist, of course. Picked up a Euro Tour title in Gibraltar. He's the defending champion there at the end of the month.
He's held up for 2 years.
Yeah.
Long time. I think Ian White
95.
is still the defending champion when it comes to one of the Dutch events.
Well, I think you'll find that Michael Smith is and forever shall be the Shanghai darts master. Nobody's taking it off him. We don't appear to be going back to China anytime soon.
100. Louis
Good
requires
point. Keep hold of that one, bully
170.
boy. Now then. Yes.
91.
It'll do.
Gabo, you require 144.
Fancy that. If. I'm emphasising the if. It is now when. Now, a lot of old school players
58.
would go treble 13 here, the likes of
Louis
Martin
requires
Adams or Steve
69.
Beaton. But treble 19 is the play it. Double now. Well, I'm surprised he didn't go for 2 double 18s.
39.
But now
Gabo, you
the
require
18 segment
86.
is begging for Jagica. 3 will leave double 16. That is a great shot. Double 8 for the lead. He's in front. Superbly done. 1-0. 2-1 down. Turns into 3-2 up.
Polite round of applause for himself there, Gabor Jagica. He deserved it. Good shot.
I think he's enjoying this. Why wouldn't he? Everybody remembers their European Tour debut. That was at the very first one.
95.
Wiener Neustadt, won by Justin Pipe. Remember who I lost to as well.
Who was that?
Dean Winstanley.
Oh.
Gave me an absolute
100.
tonking. I love this angle. Look at the way the darts behave in the air before they hit the board.
20.
There's a little kink at the end, almost in the exact opposite way to Geert de Vos from earlier, where they'd kinked left. With Jagica, they go in slightly kinking to the right.
140.
Louis Williams, perfect, ballistically, straight, not travelling too fast, gives it a chance to nestle. Beautiful stuff.
Well, I think nestle's the opposite word there, wasn't it? You could see there wasn't a great deal of room in that treble 20 bed, bottom left. But he was able to squeeze it in there. You can also see how that blocked a lot of the bed, which is why he's come down the board. Had to go back up to the 20s there to leave himself a finish.
There's that right kink, as you say, the flight.
100.
Does get the ton.
Maybe
Not enough to get to a finish though, and Louis Williams is in a battle here. Well, I think if he got the 60 there, the play was to set it up.
105.
I'll be fascinated to see where he goes for 65, because there are some players out there who like treble 11 there. Depends how Louis and double 16 are getting along at the minute.
Louis requires 65.
25, treble 15, 25 for tops.
Worried
it.
Gabor requires
Without hitting.
136.
Well, worry's a good word, because we know that Louis is going to worry about this. Not so much anymore. But if he thought that he was going to stroll to victory against a home nation qualifier, he's not thinking in that sense now.
20.
Even though his average is a good 12 more than his opponent.
Yes,
He is level at 3-3. And that was a somewhat simple break of throw, and he now has the impetus back in his quarter. Well,
János Varga, the other Hungarian we've seen in action today, his average was around about, it's almost identical, you know, where we are now. 91 playing 79 for much of the game between János Varga and Joe Mernon. And yet, come the end of the match, Varga missed 3 match darts. So even though you feel that Louis Williams is playing the better of the two, it is not by a decisive amount.
28.
Not thus far, anyway.
what you tend to find in Central Europe is that a lot of players like Jagica will play a bit of steel tip, they play a lot of soft tip on different types of electronic dartboards as well. Even some that would have smaller trebles and doubles than you would find on a steel tip board.
Okay.
It's all different disciplines in Central Europe, but you've seen with Germany, with Austria, and with Poland that they have embraced the steel tip game a little bit more. And maybe we're reaching that point with Hungary now where steel tip takes hold.
Well, it's been encouraging without being mind-blowing from the host nation qualifiers so far. As I say, János Varga could have won.
137. 167.
Jagica here is giving Louis Williams a real examination.
And at this stage of his career, I do believe that's what he craves. He wants to be tested. Maybe Gabor is going to test the position of Williams here. But only if he gets a treble.
65.
Interesting.
Interesting or wrong, Paul
Wrong.
Nicholson?
Wrong.
Wrong and interesting.
I was trying to be kind. 57 leads double 16. Tell you what, Louis Williams, after that 25 went in, people have thought it's Christmas. You want your opponents to make mistakes like that. It doesn't happen very often. Is there a 1-3-1 coming in?
97.
Very nearly.
Louis Require 52.
Well, double 16 or tops. He's going for double 16.
Yeah, shot the sampling, Louis Williams.
Accomplished.
Make that get
Accomplished
ball to throw
stuff
first.
from Louis Williams, who understands
Game
that he can't get too animated because he might get a little bit of treatment back from the people who have turned up today. All he wants to do is get through, and I had a little bit of a chat with him about a month ago. I
99.
was talking to him about the potential amount of fans that were going to turn up at the weekend. He says, "Don't you worry, I'll be in the weekend."
I mean, look, I interviewed Louis when he made his UK Open debut, and as a Riley's qualifier, won a few games and caught a bit of attention. I spoke to him throughout Q School when he went and got his tour card. He was one of the players that a lot of people picked out to watch, and he's not short of confidence, this lad. And when you see him play and see some of the numbers he's chucking, you can understand
41.
why. But he believes that he's quite within his rights to be mixing it with the big boys in this sport, and I don't think he's going to be overawed by. I think he'll probably lap it up
26.
if he gets to play in front of 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people over the course of this weekend. Hasn't booked his place in tomorrow's action yet, though.
Not yet. He does have a personal best average of over 117.
Yes.
That is recorded.
90.
I'll tell you what he doesn't have. He doesn't have his own scarf, does he? Because the guy in the crowd there who's lifting that banner up, I think that was a scarf. And it was a Yagitsa scarf.
100.
There it is.
Wow.
I have to find out what Haya means.
Probably come on.
Yeah.
60.
I assume it's
141.
why not that keen on? That would be a harsh scarf.
Yeah,
to me.
that would be a very harsh scarf. I'll tell you what, though, he's got a chance here to bring it level after 8.
89.
They are sitting on the edge of their benches right now. Yagitsa only 52 away. But huge pressure applied by Louis Williams.
First 180 in the match. Only just in the 20. Well, you can see the face there, because that camera angle showed you how hard it became after the first attempt at double 16, blocking off a significant portion of the bed.
This is the chance. It is. Treble 14 for double 14. This is the Suljovic Vienna route. Oh, doesn't work.
42.
Yagitsa gets another chance. 32.
Gabor, you require 32.
All he can do is smile.
Trying to do
60.
gets another chance, and double 14 can open up a 2-leg gap in
28.
this one for the first time in the match.
They can't watch. We can't stop. Double 14. Getting closer. Maybe that's too close. Oh, it's a beautiful dart from Louis Williams. And he breaks a lot of hearts with that. But
Athletics,
the
Louis
game is
to
not
throw
done.
first.
Boy, he is closer now at 5-3 up.
Bit of a roar
Game
from the
on.
Welshman. Said that a few times commentating on this sport. Krzysztof Ratajski awaits the winner. Louis Williams 1 leg away. Yagitsa must break, hold, and then break in the last leg
99.
decider. It is a tough, tough ask. He is still 10 points behind in the averages. But he has had, that was a golden opportunity to level at 4.
100.
It really was. He's not going to get a better chance than that against Louis Williams, or indeed any opponent here this week. I'll say one thing. We've been looking forward to this tournament for a while. It's not the only darts
46.
going on right now. Challenge Tour action in 2 different portions of Europe. The European Challenge Tour event that happened this morning and early this afternoon was won by Jose Justicia
80.
by 5 legs to 1 in the final over Nico Springer of Germany. And in the United Kingdom, Martin Thomas has picked up a victory, which really puts him in the box seat at the top of the order of merit.
140.
Well, yeah, some Welsh success already, and that top in the Challenge Tour tables. Not only does it open up things like spots at the World Championship and Tour cards, but it also
82.
gets you a Grand Slam spot. I mean, the riches are untold from finishing top of the Challenge Tour this year.
Everything in 2021 has come up Welsh. I've said it many times over the last couple of months. No matter where you turn, Wales is having a year. Who's to say that Louis Williams won't have a tournament?
Well, Gerwyn Price,
99.
the World Championship and world number 1.
Louis require 82.
Johnny Clayton, a couple of majors. Louis Williams, looking to keep himself at the hunt of the Hungarian Darts Trophy.
42.
Misses double top for the match, but probably
Louis
returns.
require 140.
I like the way you just emphasised the probably after my little mishap in leg 1.
Well, you can't rule it out, can you?
Never. Especially now.
Could be a double 10 shot again. Nope, no it's not.
Can't ask for more when you wake up in the morning.
43.
3 darts at tops.
Louis
To get
require
through by
40.
6 legs to 3. The job's in his own hands. Little shuffle.
20.
May have to survive.
Louis require 97.
Shots at tops himself if Yagita can find the 57.
He probably didn't expect to get this opportunity. And he hasn't made the most of it. And Louis Williams
57.
to fall over the line here.
20.
Double 10 for a 6-3 win on his debut on the Euro Tour. And the teenage trio have done it. The finger wags as Louis Williams joins Keane Barry and Adam Gavlas in the second round of the Hungarian Darts Trophy. It does the action for the first session of this tournament. The Euro Tour is back. We've got some young stars, Barry Gavlas and Louis Williams, all through to the second day. We saw Joe Mernon survive by the skin of his teeth. 3-match darts survive against Janos Vargsha. With Richard Veenstra, Gert de Vos and Willie Borland all winning their first games ever on the European Tour. Tonight we've got some big names, world champions like Steve Beaton, major winners like Whitlock and Gurney. Gurney taking on Vincent van der Voort, perhaps the game of the night. But a couple more Hungarians, including Joseph Ruksha and his glasses on head look that I hope he'll be bringing to the Hungarian Darts Trophy. We'll be back in a couple of hours for the second session, the evening session from
And into the second
Budapest.
round, it's European Tour debut. First round is always difficult, but then to play against a host nation qualifier, not an easy task.
Nah, definitely. I knew it was going to be tough from the start, obviously, when I seen the draw. But obviously, the crowd were amazing for Gabo, as he deserved anyway. He was a quality player, and obviously, can't take nothing away from him. Obviously, his finishing was great, the 1-3-1 in the first leg. But I'm just happy to go over the line now, to be honest with you. So looking forward to tomorrow.
Tomorrow is going to be Krzysztof Ratajski, another tough nut to crack, really. He's a quality player, obviously. Any thoughts on facing the Polish Eagle?
No, not at all. Obviously, I think I've got the experience now after playing today. So I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. So just really looking forward to it. I'll play with a smile on my face and hopefully let the darts flow and hopefully the result will come with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more big round of applause for the Prince of Wales, Louis Williams. Now, guys, this concludes the first afternoon session of the 2021 Hungarian Darts Trophy. Who of you is going to be back tonight?